In this video, you guys will learn how to create this scene inside of Unreal Engine 5.4. Let's get started. First, you need to go to this Unreal Engine and go to File, New Level and Empty Level. Press Create. This is a complete blank new canvas. Next, go to Selection Mode, go to Landscape. You can find this. Simply press Create. So landscape created successfully. Go back to the selection mode. Now you can find something like this. Now we are in unlit mode. Make sure you need to work on this. After that, let's import our base object, which is our house. So just drag and drop this into your scene. Now let's zoom out. So increase the camera speed and let's add it somewhere around here. By pressing spacebar, you can toggle between all these switches. Let's decrease the shape by scale. I'm just make it to 0.5, and after that simply select this and reposition. That's it. Now we need to create this some foliages. So simply drag any foliage from here, press F, fit to screen. Now let's increase the foliage shape, so something like this. Now click this and go to cinematic, and you can find this called Cine Camera Actor. Simply click, then right click and snap object to the view. So what happened, the camera right now is exactly in the same positions, and you can see this. Now you need to add a light, and now go here, light, and add a directional light. You can't find anything because you're in unlit mode, so now change it to lit. So now you can see all the lights over here. So now go to perspective, Cine Camera Actor. Now before doing anything, you need to adjust first your camera and the lights, because you don't want to do so much unwanted works on the rest of the areas. So first of all, select the Cine Camera Actor. I just make it to DSLR or digital film, and going down you can find this focal length. Let's make it to 22mm, and after that just decrease the positions somewhere around like this. Pretty nice. And after that simply select the Cine Camera Actor, go down simply on the crop 2.39. So now you can find some kind of a unique cinematic aspect ratio in front of you. Once you're happy with your blocking, let's lock the camera. So right click, transform and lock actor movement. So now you can't move the camera. Now you need to make a 2 view mode. So now simply click here, go to layout, you can find this 2. So now one will be our main viewer and one will be our working viewer. So now from perspective, select the Cine Camera Actor. So this is our main viewer, and from perspective you can use any view. I'm using a default view, so now you can work on this specific view. So now let's change the direction of the directional light. So simply select the directional light, and now you can change the light direction by using this rotation key. Now I'm doing it pretty randomly to get a unique output. You can follow all the steps, or you can comment so that I'll create a dedicated video on specific lighting. So yeah, I am happy with this lighting setup, but yes, I am changing the lighting setup later after adding so much thing on the scene. So now let's add a ground material. So for that, you can simply turn off this static mesh, and you can find this material instance. Now simply select this mega scan, and I have this ground asset. Simply select the landscape, go down, simply drag and drop this to your landscape, and the landscape applied successfully. After that, let's sculpt the landscape a little bit more so that we can get some more depth. So now go to this landscape mode and let's sculpt it so that you can find on this main viewer how it will exactly look like after sculpting this a lot. That's it for now. Now let's go to the selection mode once again. Now let's add some ground grasses as in foliage. Now simply turn off this material instance. Now go to selection mode, foliage. So now you can find this foliage option. Simply click, and now you can choose any foliage right from here. So I'll use few grasses and a few basic plants for this foliage. So let's select. So I have all these assets. Simply select all this on. Now simply turn this single instance mode. And also you can find this option called scale X and Y. So this is called minimum and maximum. So let's make it to 0.2 by 0.6. So now let's paint some grasses or foliages. So first of all, you need to find out the camera. So here is the camera, you can see. So whatever you are doing, make sure the camera should not cover with the foliages. So let's add few foliages in front of this camera. Now see, as I told, this will cover the view, so we don't need to do this. Simply press Ctrl Z. Now let's add a bit here, also here as well. So now this foliage creation is completely based on you, so you need to do some random motions and all to get a very good output. Also play with the sizes. Now I need to erase some foliages in front of the camera. So what I'll do, I'll just select this eraser, and now let's erase a very few foliages. So now I'll just decrease the brush size so that I can control it easily. So just now, as you can see, it's clear now. Also I need to add few on these areas as well. So now go again the paint tab, and now I'm just on the single instance mode so that I can add simple 1-2 assets, which can exactly helps me a lot to make the scene more clear. Alright, after that I need to add a big trees so that it will cover the entire lighting setup. So I'll just simply check off this selection. Now go to this foliage tab, simply add 2 or 3 trees. So I'm just using only 2 trees, there's more than enough. Simply select this 2 and check this on. You can add foliages, simply click, and now you can see the foliages start adding. Now let's increase the size from here. So let's make it to 3. So now you'll get big trees, something like this. So now just change it to lit to unlit, because we have 2 views which is real time, so that it will decrease your system performance. So now let's add trees here and here too. So basically it will cover the entire road. Let's add few on the background so that again it will cover the background areas. This looks pretty nice. Now let's add some lights on the building side. So now go to the selection mode, zoom in a bit like this. So now let's add some, small lights over here. So now go to this lights, let's add some point light. So now let's use this point light inside of this house so that it will lighten up a bit. So I'm just moving it here, drag this inside of this temple, what kind of thing, I don't know. Now let's increase the point intensity from here to, let's say, 5000. So now you can see the light over here. Also simply select the light and you can increase this radius. Now after that you need to add some environmental fog. Now simply select directional light. Let's change the light direction a bit so that it can create a night moody scene. Now see, entire scene got changed. I also use one more light from this area. So what I'll do, I'll just simply select this point light, and I'll just duplicate this point light by pressing Alt and drag, so it will duplicate. And now I'm using this light over here so that it will emit the lights. So now let's change it to 1000. So now it will emit the lights. Decrease the light shape. Also I'm just changing it to lumen. Now let's add some environmental fog. So click here, go to visual effects, and you can find this called exponential height and fog. Simply click this and it will come. You can't find anything over here. Now simply drag this a little bit more so that you can see everything properly. Now make sure you need to increase the fog density. So now if you increase it to 1, it will completely make some dark kind of a thing. So just change it to 0.2. Go down, you can find this option called volumetric fog. This is the most important part. Simply check this on and you can see some amazing God rays or volumetric fog. Now you can find this called emission. So if you turn off this directional light, still you can create some depth in it. Let me show you. Simply check this on, increase it, and now you can see some depth. Change the color and you can find your own color for this scene. So I'll just making it a little bit dark blue, kind of a moody scene. You can use greenish scene as well. So this looks pretty nice, and press OK. This exactly same method is using in Blender as well. You don't need to add any directional light, but yes, if you want a God rays kind of a thing, you can definitely use this. Let's change the color to this directional light exactly same like our scene. So just decrease the shape like this and making it like this. Press OK. Alright, you already have some depth. Now simply click this exponential height and fog. Now you don't need to do anything over here. Go down, you can find this called albedo. No need to change anything. This is called viewing distance. So once you increase or decrease, you can exactly maintain the depth. So what I'll do, I'll just maintain the depth to somewhere here. And there's a start distance, like if you don't want any fog on your starting distance, so you can simply decrease this so that it will become a silhouette kind of effect. So I'll just making a bit very subtle. And this is also near fade distance, like this can create a gradient fadey effect in front of you. So that let's add it, and now it's perfect. This is called static light scattering. Just scatter more. I don't want to use this, so I'm just making it default. Also, you can extension this scale. So just once you increase, you can see some more depths, more fog. But for this, you need more lights in background so that you can control it. So I'm just making it to 0.5 because I want some lights from this. Also, I just decrease the darkness so that we can see all the things right here. And it looks pretty nice. Also, I'm just decreasing the near values and also the start value so that this can create some blurry effect. Now let's add some camera depth of field. So simply select the camera, and going up you can find this focus distance. So simply you can check this on, and once you decrease this you can find this focus. So let's add the focus to somewhere here and check this off. Decrease the aperture to 1.2 and suddenly you can see some blurs in front of this. So if you decrease this, you can see some blurs got changing. The background will completely in out of focus. Now this is in focus, the background is completely out of focus. So what I'll do, I'll just focus this buildings or like the house somewhere here, and it's nice. Now turn this off. Alright, this looks already looking nice. Simply select the exponential height and fog. Now you can use this secondary fog, so just change it to 0.1 or like 0.2, so you can see the secondary fog. You can use this. Again, for this you need more lights. Now if you notice, we don't have much light in it. You can use this directional light positions. By pressing this, you can change the lighting directions so that you can control lighting in a very subtle way. Also, I just want to use artificial lights for this. So simply push it like this, go up, and I'll just using for artificial light one basic and shape, and let's see the plane. And now let's increase the shape for the plane, like let's say 60, or no, 60 is too much, 40 is pretty decent, or like 20. Yep, 20 is nice. Now let's move this shape to here and make sure this shape basically emit the lights, and this will create some artificial lights for this scene. So this light will emit right from here because our sun direction or the light direction is here actually. So let's rotate the light here somewhere like this. And now let's add some emissions. I already have created, but let me show you how you can create this emission for this scene. So just right click, make a new material, name it to emit, and open it. You can find this emitter. Now press 3 and click. You can use this constant, and you can use the value constant. So simply use this, and now let's use a multiplier to multiply this. Multiply, add, connect these two here, and let's connect the result to this emissive color. Now simply select this base color. You can change the color to white. Also you can change it to any other color. Now make sure simply select this emitter, and going down, default to unlit. And now let's make this to as parameters. So let's start convert this to parameter. So this is 01, let's name it anything, or let's change it to convert parameter 00. Alright, now let's save this or apply and save and close, and right click, create material instance, and now emit instance. So now you can use this material to emit light. Simply drag and drop it here, and now let's double click, and you can find these two parameters. So this is called the main color, and this is the values. Simply check this to on. Now let's change it to, let's say, 5000. Now you can't find anything right here. First of all, you need to just simply refresh this. This is a bug, whatever, I don't know. So if you go down, you can't find anything. But if you go from unlit to lit, you can find this light here. This is a strange thing. I don't know why it's exactly happened. If you have any suggestions, please comment here. And because I don't find any solutions, so what I'll do, I'll just viewing this from here. You can't see anything. If I'll turn off this two layouts to 1, you can find this, and come perspective, cine camera actor. Now you can see the lights here. So now let's push the light upwards so that it can create some, artificial lights. Now this is too much, so let's decrease it to 100 and let's save it. Also, you can change the color to something like bluish and again save it. Now close this and it suddenly dropped the light. And now look at this. Exactly, it's changed the entire scene. If you turn this off and turn this on, this is a very subtle movement, but yes, that creates so much thing in front of you. Now go back to your normal view so that we can use a very basic level of sky. It can create nothing, but it can create a very good scene. So what I'll do, simply go to shape, create a plane, and let's increase the shape to somewhere 50, and 50 is pretty big. Now increase the shape on this directions, and I have already a sky texture over here, just imported it, and I just converted this into material. What I'll do is simply use this material to emit the sky. So simply drag and drop, and I can find this sky material. And what I'll do, I'll just rotate this sky, and I'll just push this on the background. So basically what exactly it will create the skylight or sky, just you can call it as like it's normal sky, dramatic sky. Simply increase the scale. Now for this, again, you need to go to this camera view and do rest of your parts. Now if you notice, we are doing in the wrong position, so that's why I'm telling every time, whatever we'll do it on your camera view, so that can reduce your work. So now reposition this, and now let's scale this up and scale on this axis as well. Yep, that's it. So now once you're happy with your basic scene, let's do one more thing, which is called the post-process volume. Simply click here, go to visual effects, and now you can use this post-process volume. Basically this can change entire your scene. So what I'll do here, firstly we need to go to this exposure, simply turn this to on and this to, and press 1 to 1. So basically it will reduce your exposure. Now you can control it right from here, but before that simply use infinite so that it will use for infinite mode. So now see, suddenly the scene got changed. Now just simply type lumen and just simply turn all the lumen setups for this. This is very important. So simply check all this. Now once you're happy, you can simply search for chromatic, and this will create chromatic aberration. Simply make this intensity to, let's say, firstly let's try with 1, and 1 is too much, let's make it to 0.5, and the start offset should be 1 enough. Now press G to hide all these things, and you have this. Now it have a very less exposure, so what I'll do, simply select the post-process volume. Going down, you can find this exposure value, simply make it to 2.5, and you can increase your exposure. Also you can control your entire CC or like color grading exactly right from here. So simply you can use this color grading, temperature, global. So what I'll do, going to contrast, so simply increase the contrast right from here, and oh my god, it looks just changed. Now let's go to the saturation. I just want to decrease the blue saturation so that it can create some moody light, and that's it. Also I can use the gain to increase the highlights, but yes, for this is more than enough. Now let's change the light color for this point lights. It's looking weird. So going up, you can find this light color. Let's change it to, let's say, something like this, and point light should be, yep, now it's looking good. Yeah, okay, now let's more color grading. So first of all, you can use this ray tracing if you have some reflective surface, but here you don't have, so let it be. Make sure the global the reflection should be in lumen as well. Now let's work on the mid-tone. So just go to this contrast for the mid-tone only. So for the entire scene, increase it slightly, and in the gamma, I'll just making it a little bit down like this. And now look at the scene. Entire scene got completely changed. Now let's do some camera animations. Go here, add a new level sequence, and press like shoot. Press OK. Going up, you can find the camera. Simply drag and drop this into your scene. And now we have locked the camera earlier. So just go to transform and unlock. Now simply select the transform option right from here. Go to last frame and decrease the camera speed. And now let's move the camera very subtle. Make sure very subtle. Okay, something like this. And one more keyframe. Now simply select this two, right click and linear. And now you can find this amazing camera motion. Alright, now let me show you what are the render settings I am using for this. So first of all, simply on this, delete the JPEG sequence. I am using the EXR so that I can control all the lights. Now you can use this for final render. So after that, simply go to select anti-aliasing and change it to, let's say, 8 and override. And from here, I'm using game override to get some cinematic renders. Now from output, you can select your preferred resolution and the location, but make sure you have done this in 30 FPS so that change it to 30 FPS. Also, you can use it to 24 FPS. Last but not the least, I'm using the camera and simply render all the cameras and make sure frame close. Press accept and now you can press this render local. So yes guys, that's it for today. I hope you really enjoyed and you learned a lot of things from this tutorial. If you have any questions, any queries, please feel free to ask me on the comment section below. By the way, my name is Rachit. You are watching World of VFX. See you soon in my next video. Till then, bye-bye.